Hey everybody, Coach Jay here with a performance review of the Anta KT1. This is the first official signature shoe of Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. Before we go over the performance aspect of this shoe, let's just talk about the aesthetics or the look of this shoe real quick. Now, first off, nothing too gimmicky in terms of technology, not much flair. But that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to shoe designs. The design does have originality compared to other Anta models out in the market right now, which look like cheap imitations of their other more famous counterparts. But I'm not too sure about this basketball net design that you have here. It seems a little bit off between the upper and the midsole, but not a big deal. Getting over to the heel counter here, there is some texturing, and there is a pattern designed here, so that's kind of cool. And the logo of Klay Thompson is pretty nice as well. So you have the K, it's very obvious, and then you have the T for Thompson, and then his number, which is 11. So you'll see that here, the back heel, and as well here on the tongue. Getting over to the tongue area, I do like how it goes from a neoprene to a harder fuse rubber kind of material and then mesh, but we'll talk about that in the fit later on. And then just looking at it from the light right here, you'll notice that it's shimmering, so it kind of has a pearled kind of black to it, very similar to what they do to luxury cars, so it gives you that kind of luxury feel to it as well. So instead of just a plain black shoe, you have this pearled black, which is very cool. Now, going over the all-important cushioning or impact protection of this shoe. The cushioning used on the KT1 is nice and simple, just like the design. Full length EVA, straight across the midsole. Nothing special about it, but the insert, this is the insert. Nothing special about it, just regular foam material. Cool design though. One thing about this shoe that I found pretty neat is, even though you had your regular foam insert, the material in here, you can't really see or can tell just by looking at it, but if you feel it, it's a very soft kind of rubber, and that's not very common. Most of the shoes that I've had a chance to wear or even test has kind of like a canvas or a hard material in there, and this one has a soft rubber, which I think contributes to some of the cushioning as well. So not too bad from that aspect. I like that a lot, and I think it helped. So in terms of cushioning, I probably would have preferred a little bit more, but overall it did its job. Played on a Terraflex court. For those of you who've had a chance to play on a Terraflex court, it's basically cement, which will not scuff up your knee so bad if you ever happen to slip or fall. But I didn't experience much knee pain after playing, and I think that's attributed to the cushioning of this shoe. So cushioning, impact protection, I think is thumbs up. Now let's get into the traction. Traction is, again, no frills, just good, solid, tried and tested technology, which is your herringbone pattern, as you can see here. It's multi-directional, which means whichever way you decide to run, cut, jump, pivot, whatever, it'll keep your foot pretty much where you need your foot to be. Now let's talk about the stability of the shoe. When it comes to stability, the most prominent feature, I think, is this pronounced outrigger. As you can see here, it just comes out way out to the side, and I think a lot of people have noticed that. So again, kind of cool. You also have your plastic midfoot shank. It's made out of hard plastic there, which I've already mentioned. So that contributes to some of your stability as well. Now I mentioned the midsole in terms of cushioning, but in terms of stability, the midsole I think has a medium to low ride, so that also helps in the control and stability department, so you have a little bit of court feel. You don't feel so high up with some of those thicker, higher cushioned shoes. The most important thing to ask about a shoe stability is, are you thinking about maintaining your balance at any time while playing? Now, if you answer no, you got yourself a good stable shoe. With the KT1, my answer would also be no. So great stability, period. Now, talking about fit, you have this fuse material, which hugs your foot quite well. It's nice and flexible. It doesn't completely hug it in terms of a snug fit, and there is a little space in the forefoot, which I kind of like. I wear 2 socks, which allows me to get that ideal snug fit that I'm looking for, so there's some adjustability there. So some folks like it really snug. I don't. I like a little give, so that again I can kind of like customize that snug fit at the end with the socks that I wear. Lacing is fairly basic, but again, there's nothing wrong with tried and tested technology. When it's not broke, why fix it? So the lacing is good. Locks down your foot where it's supposed to. It doesn't come undone when you don't want it to. We've talked so much about the plastic heel counter. The plastic heel counter again is very good in terms of not only your stability, but also gives you good support. Your foot doesn't move around, the back of your foot doesn't move around, so you can kind of like concentrate on doing what you need to do out on the court. Now, you have this pronounced ankle area here. Ankle support is pretty good. Did not have any issues in terms of feeling as if my ankle was gonna give out or any reason, but that's more attributed to your stability, in my opinion, rather than the fit of the shoe. As long as you feel as if the shoe kind of like locks it in, I think you're good. Now, where this shoe really excels, and as you can kind of see, is in the ventilation department. And I'll show you, you have these little outlets here in the front, but the real superstar is right here on the side. As you can see here, you have these little outlets, and it's covered up with a mesh material, which kind of like tries to blend in with the rest of the shoe, but it also gives a nice aesthetic texturing that I kind of like. And if I stick my finger in there, you can kind of like see my finger in there. Yeah, so your feet will breathe easy. And quite honestly, when I was playing in them, not once did I even think about how hot my feet were getting in these shoes. So ventilation is excellent. One cool part as well in terms of the fit is this tongue. I'd mentioned that it's made out of 3 materials. This is mesh, this is a fuse material, or kind of like flexible rubber, hard, like a rubber. And then you have here neoprene. Neoprene is what we use for like knee sleeves, ankle support, things like that, and very comfortable to the skin. So again, very comfy, very breathable. Now, the all-important question, is this true to size? My answer would be no. They do run a little big in my opinion, and so I would suggest going half a size smaller. I typically wear 10.5. This is a size 10. But I think going true to size with what you typically wear with a Nike or an Adidas, you'll be swimming in this shoe. So overall, I'd like to say this is a very good looking basic design. It looks great on the court. Not my first or second choice for casual wear, and I highly doubt these will see any mall time with me, but again, that's just my opinion. Cushioning is good, very sufficient, great traction, great stability, very comfortable shoe. Even though it's priced higher here than in China, where you don't have to pay import taxes, the KT1 fares fairly well, I would think, in terms of shoes in the same price range. And I would even go out and say that these are even better, or one of the best shoes in the price range that it's in. Now, if you're looking for a great playing shoe to help you with your game, not too concerned with brands and image, I highly recommend the Anta KT1. This will stay in my regular rotation for a while. So that's about it. Let me know what you think of this review by hitting the like button or leaving a comment below. Your opinions matter. and will only help improve future reviews. So until next time, stay safe and keep balling. Thanks, bye.